This is music, and this is a bunch of first impressions from Down Under. Welcome to another first impressions video. In these videos I normally share with you my first impressions of the many blind buys I've picked up lately. This is a special edition, however, because I'm going to follow up on a fantastic epic VCLT I received from none other than Metal Downunder a while ago. Check out his channel. It's a fantastic vinyl community channel. He shows lots of hard rock and metal and melodic hard rock and female fronted rock and metal. Other genres every now and then as well. Fantastic channel. Go and check it out. So he sent me an incredible VCLT with a handful of cassettes, a handful of CDs, a handful of vinyl records too. So there's a lot of music to talk about here. So I'm going to have to shoot this video like in two parts, so there will be a jarring jump cut at some point in the video, and I will probably be wearing different apparel and whatnot. Now you know why. But let's get down to business. It is about music after all. So up first, Bina, I think, and it's called Hallucinating in Resurrector. British death metal, pretty damn good stuff too. Very heavy, very crushing, slightly, I would say, slightly crusty as well. It has a bit of an HM2 feel to it. Fantastic stuff. I definitely will listen to this cassette tape a lot of times, for sure. It's awesome stuff. So there you go. Up next, completely different genre. Jimmy Barnes, Two Fires. This is, I would say, it's classic rock with a little bit of pop rock and a little bit of hard rock too. I would say the song "One of a Kind" has a bit of kind of a almost like a sleaze glam rock groove to it. But this is very good stuff. Catchy, melodic, poppy in places, rocky in places. Nice music to listen to. Also nice music to have on in the background. I actually listened to this while I was at work. So yeah, I enjoyed this. This is great stuff. Up next, Midnight Oil, and this one is Diesel and Dust. A classic album. It's classic rock. I would say kind of like maybe 80s alternative rock. It has Beds Are Burning is on here. That was a massive hit. I pretty much grew up listening to snippets of this song because of a radio show that used the outro of this song as their intro theme. Great stuff. It's I would say it's kind of alternative rock, but like 80s alternative rock, so it doesn't sound like your grunge or anything like that at all. Maybe there has a bit of art rock feel to it as well. The vocals might be an acquired taste. I think some people will find them a little bit weird, but I like him, especially in the first song, Beds Are Burning. I mean, I fully understand why that became a massive hit, but the other songs are very good too. The entire album is definitely worth listening to. The last cassette tape here is this one here, Scythe, depending on what kind of English you speak. Subterranean Steel. Kind of death thrash with a slightly blackened feel, perhaps. It's really good stuff. Great riffs, lots of aggression. Interestingly enough, I would say there's a bit of a speed metal feel to it as well, and you even have some traditional metal bits popping in every now and then, so it makes for a very interesting listen. The last song, Thunderhammer, that's an all-out speed metal song. But great stuff. I really enjoyed listening to this as well. I actually listened to all of these cassette tapes in my office at work, and it made the work day a little brighter. Okay, let's turn to the CDs. So up first, we have The Pulse by Alkira. Thrash metal, Australian thrash metal. It has kind of a modern feel to it. It's very groovy, I would say, and there are lots of kind of mid-tempo parts in it as well. And I get a little bit of a propane feel from some of the songs, in particular the opener. There's some elements of sludge metal, not surprisingly, in Sludge Machine. But this is great stuff. It's a nice EP. You know, if you feel like listening to some more modern thrash metal with lots of groove, lots of mid-tempo parts, and you don't have a whole lot of time, this is perfect for that. So great stuff for sure. And up next, we got kind of like a triumvirate here. Devil's Skin, We Rise. New Zealand hard rock metal. And also by Devil's Skin, Be Like the River. This is pretty awesome cover artwork. So there you go. And Red, also by Devil Skin. So that's what I meant by kind of a triumvirate. So Devil Skin, I already knew this band because in a previous VCLT, Nathan from Metal Downunder sent me a live album with a live DVD as well, and I checked it out. I watched the DVD. And so I know some of the songs on here because they play some of those at that gig as well. And I really enjoyed the live show. It was just great musicianship, great stage presence, great music. So I was stoked to receive some studio albums by this fantastic band. Now we're dealing with a pretty consistent style on all three albums. And I would categorize it as modern heavy metal with lots of hard rock in it, and lots of references to 90s alternative metal, and that's just a great mix. These guys do a fantastic job. The guitar tone is very heavy on this one. It's a bit more dialed back on the two other ones, but the music is actually quite heavy. And I really appreciate that. But it has the, some heavy metal riffs. It has some more hard rock riffs as well. You got your 90s alternative metal kind of introspective darkness as well. And it works great. These are great albums. It's hard to pick favorite albums from the album. For sure, but I would say that Be Like the River from Red, and not from Be Like the River. There's not a song on Be Like the River called Be Like the River, but on Red there's a song called Be Like the River. That's a fantastic song. It's a heavy blues song, and it's really dark, it's really groovy, it's really bluesy. I really like that song. There's a great riff in it. But all the songs are great. So if you like your hard rock heavy metal with a modern edge to it, check out Devil's Skin. It's female fronted. I think their singer, I don't remember if her name is Jenny or Jessie, so I apologize for that. But she is a fantastic singer. She has a very powerful voice, a very dark voice too. There's a little bit of Eddie Vedder to her voice, and I think this has more to do with the singing technique that she uses than anything else. But she's just the perfect singer for this type of music. And I would say that it's actually pretty original for, modern heavy metal hard rock. So great stuff. Do check out Devil's Skin if you feel like checking out some modern heavy metal / hard rock. Okay, up next we have this one here by Scabbard. Lutke perhaps. I don't speak this language. I don't even remember exactly where they are from, but fortunately, Nathan put together these post-its with some information. So they are from the Czech Republic. This is death metal, but it is extremely old school death metal. It's very thrashy. But you have some blast beat parts. So like think early Morbid Angel, early Pestilence, maybe early Death. So it's very old school thrash metal, and I really enjoyed it. It's awesome. The songs are, I would say, pretty straightforward. Of course, you have lots of changes and stuff, but they're pretty straightforward with some very thrashy riffs, and then occasionally your blast beats, and it works very well. The vocals are harsh, for sure. So if you like I also actually get like a Bestial Devastation era Sepultura a bit. I get a bit of that vibe here. Great stuff if you like your 90s death metal. This album is definitely worth checking out. To me, it's almost like death thrash with some blast beats, but it's great stuff. And the last CD is VX Sens Pietat, Spanish speed metal. It's pretty slow for speed metal, but it's still fast. You know what I mean? But I would say I get why it's why they consider this speed metal for sure. I get that. It's more of the Motorhead inspired variety of speed metal than the Agent Steel inspired variety. There's a lot of old school heavy metal riffage on here too, which I really enjoy. The vocals are kind of blackened. You do also have kind of a crusty, kind of deep beat feel. It's not like dirty like crust punk is, but it has the same energy, and it sounds like it's inspired by music that was inspired by music that was inspired by Discharge. Let's just put it like that. But it's really enjoyable. It's a nice little EP, 4 tracks. Again, if you feel like listening to some high energy music and you don't have all day, this is worth checking out. So yeah, those were the CDs. Let's turn to the vinyl. Up first, we will return to Akira. Here's an album, Blotho. So pretty much the same style of thrash metal as on the CD. A mix of old school, new school stuff. A little bit of crossover. Pretty awesome vocals. High energy. Awesome riffs. If you like your thrash metal, this is a band worth checking out. That is for sure. From thrash metal to melodeath or melodic death metal. Arch Enemy, Chaos Legions. This is of course a legendary melodeath band. The style here, yeah, it's melodeath. So you actually have some blast beats on this one, and a couple of just old school death metal style riffs too. But for the most part, it's melodeath, so more kind of thrashy. With your twin guitars, leads and harmonies and all that stuff. Of course, female fronted. Some elements from power metal, some elements from traditional metal, a couple of groovy riffs every now and then. So it's a pretty good album for sure. And the record plays fine. And I used to have a handful of Arch Enemy CDs, like some of the early ones, but I got rid of them a couple of years ago because I had kind of become fed up with melodic death metal because it had become watered down and it all sounded the same. But this Arch Enemy album is actually pretty cool, and I am considering maybe picking up some of those early Arch Enemy albums again, maybe on vinyl, I'm not sure. In any case, I'm pretty glad that I have this album now, so thanks to Nathan. Now, I guess back to the world of thrash metal. Shackles, Trader's Gate. Pretty cool cover artwork. So thrash metal with a little bit of speed metal thrown in, blackened vocals, maybe a tiny touch of death thrash. Pretty cool riffs, high energy too, awesome songs. I really like the lead guitar work. There's a tiny touch of Slayer, like less chaotic, but a tiny touch of Slayer to the guitar solos. So this is top class thrash metal 2. Really enjoyed. There's a bit of a rawness to it as well, to the performance and to the sound. It's not lo-fi or anything like that, but there are just some imperfections that just make it seem that more authentic. Now something quite different. This one here, Tadpoles, the Buddha Finger, signed and everything. Female fronted 90s alternative hard rock. Really like the vocals. She's got a pretty cool and kind of unique voice and unique singing style too. What I really like about this is that they use turntablism. You got some hip hop beats. You also have some pretty cool hard rocking beats and like borderline grunge stuff. But this is a very good kind of 90s style alternative rock album, and I know a lot of people nowadays, they don't like the idea of how they mixed rap and hip hop and rock and metal and funk back in the 90s. I never had a problem with that. I quite enjoyed Rage Against the Machine, Censor, Clawfinger, some of the H-Blocks songs as well. You don't have rap on here, but you do have other elements from hip-hop, and it works very well. I quite enjoyed this one for sure. And this is an album I probably would never have picked up on my own, so this is part of the beauty of the vinyl community, that you get an awesome VCLT, something you would never have bought, and you really end up enjoying it, which is the case here. So thanks to Nathan for sending me this one here. It's also a New Zealand band, as far as I remember. So that is cool. And then up last, compilation, heavy Metal Thunder, Kickin' International Heavy Metal Masters, Metal Thunder. And there's some pretty damn good stuff on here. Turns out I actually know Apocalypse. I have an album by them. Swiss thrash metal. So you got some thrash on here from Apocalypse, Wolf Spider as well, and Hammer. Hammer's song is called Sex Shop. And you have some, straight up heavy metal, Arch Rival, Rescue, for example. I would say FN Guns as well. And you have, some hard rock, Sleazy Rose. That's somewhere in between sleaze rock and heavy metal. And Dirty Side is a pretty cool groovy hard rock song too. So a nice mix of metal genres. This was very enjoyable too. I love these old compilations with lots of gems on here. I'm definitely going to try to see if I can seek out some of these bands. By the way, the graffiti here, that's like AOR. Straight up melodic AOR. Pretty cool stuff too. So awesome here. I enjoyed listening to this one as well. So an epic VCLT. I enjoyed all of it. The vinyl community is fantastic. And of course, Nathan from Metal Downunder. He has a great channel. He's a super supportive and super generous person. And I really appreciate him sending me all of these awesome cassettes and CDs and vinyl. Go and check out his channel. It's a fantastic vinyl community channel. Thanks for watching.